of a jail cell. Sit down. Carly, look, I'm sorry, but this is not fair.
Mr. Travers was partially correct. I did allow Barbara to go with James, but I didn't do it to save my own hide. I did it to protect Carly Tenney and my lieutenant, Hal Munson.
I have no further questions. This witness is excused.
You should have done that.
I'm sorry. I couldn't sit here and listen to him make you sound like some kind of...
I get why you're upset, Carly, but no more. You could blow this case against Barbara and you'd never forgive yourself.
Your next witness, Miss Griffin?
Your Honor, the state rests.
Mr. Travers, I assume that you'll want to recess for the remainder of the day?
No, Your Honor, my client and I are anxious to proceed. The defense calls Lily Snyder to the stand.
Rose had been kidnapped. Paul and I were at our wits' end. I thought if I dressed up like Rose, I could get Barbara to admit what she had done.
In other words, you conspired with Barbara's own son to trick her.
My sister was missing. I had to find her.
Were you not aware that Barbara Ryan was emotionally unstable after her devastating accident?
We were all aware that she was having some emotional problems at that time.
Did you refer her to a psychiatrist?
Well, she hardly ever returned any of my phone calls.
Yes or no? Did you take your friend by the hand and try to get some help for her?
No, I did not refer Barbara to a psychiatrist. It's been my experience that psychotherapy is only successful when the patient is a willing participant.
So you did nothing? You, who are supposedly her friend?
I'm her family.
Were you aware that Barbara Ryan was taking painkillers? Possibly more than prescribed?
Well, yes, I became aware that she was taking painkillers. Her burns were so severe, she needed some kind of relief. But she insisted that she wasn't abusing them.
And you believed her?
Well, I was concerned. I had my doubts, but
Were you aware of the troubled relationship Barbara had with her grown son? That she was estranged from her husband and her other children?
Yes, of course. I knew she'd shut everybody out.
Yet you sat by and did nothing.
What?
You sat there and did nothing and allowed this vulnerable, injured, debilitated woman, obviously suffering from emotional and physical distress, to fall under the sway of a vicious criminal.
But how was I to know that James Stenbeck was involved? How could I know that?
You might have known if you hadn't abandoned your own niece.
I beg your pardon. She shut us out.
Isn't it true that you told other friends that you thought you'd failed Barbara?
Yes, of course.
Don't you feel that way now?
I felt I had failed her. I felt we all had.
That'll be all, Miss Hughes. Thank you.
Miss Griffin, do you have any further...
People any more than I trust our site?
Relax, Rose. We're putting him to good use in exchange for not dropping him in a dank, dark dungeon.
You will be following Donovan Curry.
The anti-Simon?
Yes. And with any luck, we believe that he'll lead him to your dad and Simon.
All right, then I'm following him.
Hey,
Trust that.
next time you're going to try to play the hero, I'm going to sit on you. Over here is on trial. If she goes free, if she does not pay for what she has done, where is the justice for these 3 women that have suffered?
Order. Sit down. Or I'll be forced to remove you. And if there are any further outbursts in this courtroom, I will be forced to clear the courtroom.
It's gonna be okay. We will get justice. We will.
Lock me away. Please just get me out of here. Please just take me away. I don't care what happens to me anymore. Just get me out of here. Lock me away.
Island upside down. We'll bribe the right people. It's okay. If Simon and I can make it through Malta, we can bring your father back.
I'm not leaving here without my pop. You hear me?
No problem, son. With black market, Henry, use your brain. They'll sell anything there. They'll sell their own mothers. They'll find some kids with some cherry bombs, whatever. Just bring back something that goes bang. Okay. All right, you got it?
Yeah, me savvy GI. Boom. TNT make jail go boom. Okay.
I'm counting on you, Henry. I tell you what, that scares the hell out of me.
Well, I guess you could say that we're involved.
Good for you. He's a local? Anyone I know?
No, thankfully. World isn't that small yet.
But he makes you happy.
We have our moments.
I've thought about you over the years. Always wondered if you found happiness with your Mr. Right.
What about you? Or has the untamed and untamable Mike Kasanoff left a trail of broken hearts in his wake?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Oh, yeah? Try me.
I haven't had many serious relationships since you.
It's funny you should say that.
Less than prudent judgment in not recusing herself from this case. Therefore, I am left with no choice but to grant Mr. Travers' motion and declare these proceedings a mistrial.
I don't believe this. This can't be happening. They cannot be letting Barbara go free. Someone has to do something. This is wrong. This is wrong. How can this be happening? Barbara Ryan wanted us dead. She didn't care. She took us away from our families, our lives. She didn't care if we lived or died. How can this be happening? How?
Sort of what I heard.
And your response would be?
We haven't seen each other in years. And an hour after we run into each other, you're talking about getting back together again. Either I'm more irresistible than I thought, or you've had a little too much champagne.
No, he's being coy.
Just curious.
All I'm saying, Mike, is that you should stay.
So, Carly, here we are. All alone. No witnesses. Come on. Give me your best shot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of it. And I know you've been waiting months for this moment. But there's nothing that you could say or do to me that I haven't already thought of.
I'm happy
myself.
that Will doesn't have to grow up without a mother. He's a good kid. He deserves a good mother. I hope somehow you can find some way to be that for him. It is difficult to be a good parent, to do the right thing. I should know because it is taking everything in me right now not to knock you into that jury box. And it took every bit of willpower that Emily has not to rip your eyes out. But we love our children. That makes us better people. It absolutely makes us better than you. You created all of this so you could have Hal, so you could have Paul all to yourself, so you could be the undisputed ruler of the fashion world. Look around you. No Hal. No Paul. No Jennifer. No family. No friends. And that is probably the worst prison, the worst punishment that anyone could ever have. And it's exactly what you deserve.
I would have called, I just...
No, you wouldn't. But that's okay. You can make it up to me now.
Another time.
Where are you headed that's so important you can't buy a girl a cup of coffee? Or lunch tomorrow, or dinner?
I'm headed to the airport, all right?
No. You can't leave now. I won't let you.
Are you trying to blackmail me?
Oh, girls from Oakdale Latin don't blackmail. They bargain. Except in this case, there's really no negotiation. If you tell my dad that I was seeing Aaron while he was away, I'm just gonna have to tell him that I found you kissing that Mike person. So let's neither of us tell him anything. How's that?
And so much for the benefits of a private school education.
Well, what's wrong with it? I get what I want. You don't lose the little that you have.